this guy is loser demon pretending to be human to recruit them for the war. But then he meets the popular girl that's actually an angel and she takes him as her slave. Once upon a time there was a young man named Ikatsu who had just joined high school, and all the students in the class were talking about him while the teacher Shiramura was trying to encourage him and boost his morale outside. When Ikatsu was asked to come in, he mustered up the courage to come in and introduce himself. At first, he looked like his younger brother, with his pathetic baldness and pale, zombie-like appearance. The students were shocked to see that he didn't look like a high school student. He told Shiramura that he accidentally applied hair removal cream and ended up like that, and he seemed to sympathize with him because they had something in common. Ikatsu then introduces himself and is lucky to have gained everyone's sympathy, and not just ridicule. He tells them that he hasn't had a good life so far and hopes to make many memories with them. Shiramura noticed something protruding from his head, and when he pulled on it, it caused the wig to come off, revealing his true appearance, which was just as ugly as before. The teacher was shocked to find his head full of hair and decided to teach him an unforgettable lesson for his deception. He then ordered him to go sit in his seat. On his way, Ikatsu noticed a blonde girl sitting in one of the rows and could not resist her beauty. As soon as she smiled at him, he felt a twinge in his heart as if he had just been attacked. Then he began to lose control of his body and could not walk normally because of the feeling in his chest and ended up sitting alone, absent-minded and dizzy after realizing how cute she was and wishing she was his girlfriend. Then he began to imagine many romantic situations that could happen between them in the future. And then he thought about confessing his feelings to her, but he needed a way to open the subject with her. And in the meantime, he noticed a blonde guy named Hirota walking towards her, asking her out on a date. But he ended up being rejected as soon as he finished his sentence. Ikatsu finds another student standing in front of his table and tells him to get used to it, as Hirota is in love with all women and wants to go on a date with any beautiful one. Then introduces himself as Yuya. Hirota joins them and takes them out of class, and Ikatsu soon makes 2 new friends. When he asks about the blonde girl, they tell him that she's called Lily and that she just transferred to the school a little while before him and is half Japanese. Hirota mentions a lot of her beautiful qualities, and when Ikatsu hears Hirota call her an angel, he gets angry for a moment, then pretends he didn't hear anything. Then Hirota tells him to prepare for rejection if he intends to go after her, as she has already rejected him 5 times, and after remembering his tragic incidents with her, he gets excited and wants to go talk to her again. But Yuya catches him and tries to calm him down. After school ended, Ikatsu was on his way home thinking of a way to approach Lily and decided to make a plan. He accidentally bumped into her and felt that this was the perfect opportunity. When he was surprised that she suddenly appeared from a dark alley, she told him that she had lost her way for a while. Ikatsu is confused by her and struggles to form a sentence to start a conversation with her. He ends up introducing himself to her even though she already knows his name from class. So she introduces herself and shakes his hand. Ikatsu noticed that part of her jacket was torn and thought it was because he had just bumped into her and wanted to make it up to her. But she preferred to let it go and told him that she believed there was a reason why they bumped into each other. Ikatsu didn't hesitate to say yes after the opportunity to get close to her came to him on a platter. On their way, she told him that she lives alone like him, as her parents live abroad. As she was crossing to the other side of the street while talking to him, she didn't notice a truck speeding towards her, and Ikatsu rushed towards her only to be hit by the truck instead, forcing him to use part of his hidden power. Lily was surprised to see the change in his face, and when people crowded around them, she decided to take him away, and they went to sit near a park. In the evening, Ikatsu began to feel a little better from the impact of being hit by the truck, and Lily expressed her gratitude to him for saving her. Ikatsu was shocked to realize that he had revealed his identity so quickly due to his reckless behavior, and when she asked him directly if he was non-human, he thought she was scared or upset. But he was surprised that she didn't react negatively. Then he decided to trust her and tell her the truth. Then he asked her to keep it a secret between them and revealed his true form in front of her and told her that he is a demon who came to the human world on a mission, as the world of hell is in danger due to his ancestors' war with angels, and his world may soon be destroyed due to the carelessness of his kind, which made the demon leader decide to appoint a leader with an exceptional personality, and assigned him the task of recruiting a human for this purpose. He then asked Lily directly if she could help him in this matter. When she was confused, he told her that he would not force her to join the ranks of the demons, but that she could go to the Hell Realm to motivate his kind from time to time until he finds the right leader. Lily approached him and asked him if he was sure he needed someone like her, as she was nothing special, and not sure if she could really help. He told her that he needed to find someone as cute as her in order to gain the love and popularity of everyone in his world, while Lily was afraid that his kind would be afraid of her or hate her. And Ikatsu tells her that the opposite will happen and expresses his full confidence. Lily decides to stop acting and shows him her hidden side, and before he realizes it, he ends up chained to her and unable to move. She then told him that she was actually an angel, known as the Maid of Heaven, and mocked him for trying to convince her to join his side in order to gain an advantage in the war against her ancestors, calling him a fool. Ikatsu was furious and tried to free himself, but she told him that it was impossible since she had made the chain herself and had full control over her power. Then she told him that fighting 2 demons in one day would be too hard for her, and then he realized that the pieces in her jacket were from fighting against another demon and told him that she was able to expel him from this world and free the dog he had reincarnated as. And then she told him that she was able to free him from this world. Akatsu was so angry that he managed to break the chain and free himself, then attacked her. But she easily dodged him, admiring his strength to free himself, then started beating him and ended up tied up again, this time unable to move. Akatsu realizes how strong she is and sees her approaching him with the intention of finishing him off. She thinks she can make a deal with him to leave him alive in exchange for him telling her about his kind's plans. When he tells her that he can't trust her, she pretends to finish him off to scare him and then tells him that she has decided not to get rid of him and will make him a slave to help her with her work. Akatsu is furious that he is forced to help his enemy in order to stay alive, and while he is complaining, Lily threatens him that she can expose him to everyone and make his life in this world a living hell. And he ends up under her command after she takes complete control of him. Lily frees Akatsu after putting the collar around his neck. When he asks what she's trying to make him do, she tells him that he's her servant from now on and will start helping her hunt demons like him. Akatsu flatly refused to contribute to the elimination of his own kind, which made Lily surprised that demons have a sense of kinship and bonding. He told her that demons have their own societal norms where it is impossible for them to betray those who have helped them. Then he added that he had never betrayed anyone before. When he tried to remove the collar, she told him that she was the only one who could remove it and warned him that it acts as a surveillance device so that he doesn't try to escape and that she can control his body movement through it. But she doesn't know what will happen to him if she decides to punish him. Akatsu can't believe what's happening to him and feels as if he's in a nightmare. Then he's surprised by her controlling his body and speech, forcing him to treat her like a servant and forcing him to agree to cooperate with her. When she tells him she's thirsty, he quickly goes and brings her several types of drinks and puts them inside his shirt. She pours one of them on him and drinks the rest. Then she felt like treating him sadistically by stomping his ass with her foot. But before she could do that, she was surprised to see the guard rushing towards them to stop them from acting perverted. Akatsu found that he had regained the ability to move his body again and realized it after he saw Lily leave him behind and run away, so he had no choice but to follow her. Afterward, they reached a dark alley and managed to elude the guard. When Lily asked him if he was willing to cooperate, he was still stubborn and threatened that next time she wouldn't let him use all 4 limbs. He asked her to set him free and leave him alone. But she refused, telling him that she had a purpose that prevented her from letting him do as he pleased. When she asked him one last time, he suggested that he could only help her find out if there were any demons around. Lily agrees, but warns him that he may die if he fails, while Akatsu hopes that no other demon will be sent to the human world. Lily then tells him that she will train him to become a good and honest man during his service to her as a reward. Akatsu was unimpressed by the unmotivated Akatsu, so Lily thought it was a fitting reward for a young man on the verge of adulthood and decided to give him a hug for every task he completed. Akatsu was furious that she was messing with him and blamed him for taking it too seriously. They were surprised that the guard had found them and had been chasing them all this time, forcing them to run away again. At night, Akatsu finally arrives home and lies on his bed, exhausted and angry at the failure of his mission after becoming an angel's servant, and notices that the collar disappeared as soon as he was alone. Then he found Lily texting him on the phone that the collar had become part of his body in the form of a tattoo, and that its disappearance did not mean that he was free. And Akatsu was surprised that she already had his phone number and could read his thoughts remotely and talk to him through the phone. Akatsu was furious that he would not be able to enter the pools because of the tattoo, nor would he be able to try the Sento baths, as he was eager to enjoy human entertainment, and thought he should take care of Lily before he caused trouble for his own kind. Lily, on the other hand, was proud of her success in capturing a powerful demon after a series of encounters with unworthy demons, and intended to continue to manipulate him in front of everyone and make them regret underestimating her in the past. Akatsu remembers in the past when he went to meet Liz, the official who assigned him the mission, and she told him that she was sending him to the human world to recruit a leader to help increase the power of hell in response to the attack of angels from heaven. Liz then showed him a picture of an angel humiliating a demon and told him that they deliberately chase and manipulate them as if they were just puppets to them and that a group of angels had already been sent to the human world, and she tried to motivate him by telling him that he was the hope of the demons to save hell from the angelic threat. She gave him a wig to make him look pathetic and gain sympathy and trust quickly. But he ended up failing on his first appearance in front of humans, and Akatsu felt a sense of failure and defeat every time he looked in the mirror and saw the tattoo from the collar. Then he began to motivate himself that it was only a matter of time before he could take Lily down. As he sat watching TV, he had an idea that might help him set a trap for her. The next day, Akatsu appeared at school with a distinctive aura that his classmates noticed and realized that he looked different from yesterday for some reason. Then he wrote a notice that his appearance had changed and he had a pointed jaw. And while Akatsu was proud of himself, he was surprised when Lily appeared behind him and found Yuya admiring her different appearance as well. Akatsu felt triumphant about the success of his plan, which was inspired by watching a couple's love story on TV, and decided to make an effort to look handsome to force her to fall in love with him. But as soon as he turned towards her and greeted her, he found his feelings taking over again. It turned out that Lily had made a plan after watching the same TV program and decided to make him fall in love with her, but she was shocked when she saw his handsome appearance and shiny skin. Then they both realized that they got the same idea by watching the same program after noticing the changes in them, and it became a challenge between them. During class, Akatsu deliberately dropped his eraser and Lily picked it up and gave it to him, and she felt ashamed after accidentally touching his hand while he was in a pitiful state after he felt her touch. Akatsu realized that she was one step ahead of him and decided to retaliate. She was surprised when he put his hand on her head to remove something stuck in her hair, which made her blush, and it looked like a boxing match between them that only they could see. Lily felt angry that he dared to challenge her and decided to make him pay for it. After class, she found Shiramura calling her to ask her to move a large pile of papers to the teacher's room and told her to ask one of her classmates for help. Lily felt angry at him, but at the same time she couldn't refuse. So she decided to ask Akatsu for help, and using her delicate style to influence him in front of his classmates, she succeeded in forcing him to help her, and Akatsu felt as if he had just received a crushing blow from her, and then he decided to help her in the hope of helping her. Then he decided to help her in the hope that he would get the chance to take revenge on her, and that's when he showed some of his strength and held the cards for her. Lily couldn't control herself when she saw the veins protruding from his arm, and Akatsu succeeded in influencing her emotions. Throughout the day, the Cold War between them continued, each trying to trap the other in various situations around the school until they grew tired. In one class, Shiramura noticed and assigned her to write the answer to a question on the blackboard. As she returned to sit in her place, she was deep in thought about getting him, which caused her to stumble, and she took the opportunity to fall into Akatsu's arms and they both fell to the ground. Then she deliberately looked at him like a cat and apologized to him, which made his heart explode. And before Lily gave him the final blow, Shiramura caught them and kicked them out of class for flirting with each other in front of their classmates. And then they decided to leave each other alone. A few days later, Lily was waiting for Akatsu, who was 5 minutes late, when she felt someone put a hand on her shoulder. And when she turned around, she found two guys trying to harass her and ended up being forced to take care of them without revealing her identity. Lily tries to evade the guys, telling them she's waiting for someone, but they keep offering to take her out for tea or on a date, and she realizes that she has encouraged them to continue doing so with her gentlemanly manner. Akatsu sees the opportunity to play the hero and stop the guys from harassing her. They had to withdraw after realizing how handsome he was and that they had no chance compared to him. After they left, he gave her a stuffed animal and apologized for being late, but he ended up getting hit on the head with the toy. On the way, Akatsu noticed that she had prepared well before going out to meet him. She felt confused and told him that she hadn't done anything out of the ordinary and couldn't hide her embarrassment at his constant staring. While Akatsu thought she was acting like that day when she asked him to help her carry a stack of papers, Lily tightened her grip on him and threatened to use the collar to torture him if he mentioned it anywhere, so he had to publicly apologize to her to stop humiliating him. They began their demon hunting mission, and Akatsu felt like a traitor for cooperating with her even if he was forced to. Akatsu hoped they wouldn't run into any demons along the way. When he asked Lily where they were headed, she pointed him to an announcement that there were several people being attacked by vicious dogs around and that a demon might have been responsible. She then asked him how far away he could sense demons as she scanned the map, and he told her that it depended on them, as he could detect them at a distance if they were strong enough. She realized that they would have to be close enough if they wanted to catch a weak demon, which made her think that they were just useless scum. As time went on, Lily failed to find any demons, which made her realize that it was not as easy as she thought. Lily continued to eat as if she hadn't eaten in 2 months in order to have more energy to search for demons. And when Akatsu told her that she might end up obese due to her gluttony, she got angry and scolded him. Akatsu senses a powerful demon nearby, but it turns out to be Hirota smashing his head into the restaurant's exterior glass after seeing them on a date together, which makes him feel bad. So Akatsu suggests that they invite him to join them. They explain that they're not on a date or anything, and Lily claims that she was taking him for a ride around the city. So he tells Akatsu that he would take him for a ride if he asked, and confesses that he was jealous when he saw them together, which Akatsu realizes is why he sensed his presence. When he asked Hirota why he was around, Hirota told him that he was with someone. They were joined by a girl named Yuika, who turned out to be the person Hirota had been with before he noticed them. Yuika scolds Hirota for leaving her behind and going to hang out with his buddies, and when Hirota introduces them, she makes fun of Lily's short stature and says she thought she was in elementary school because of Hirota's constant talking about her. Lily, on the other hand, was doing her best to suppress her powers and pretend to be a nice girl, while Akatsu was relieved when she greeted him without criticizing his appearance. And when Lily asked about her, she told her that she was Hirota's girlfriend. Hirota was shocked because he was about to say that she was his childhood friend and was quickly in trouble after Lily mentioned that he had confessed his love to her 5 times before and was forced to justify it to her. And when he kept silent, he ended up being dragged like a puppy out of the restaurant. Akatsu knew that Lily deliberately poured oil on the fire to avenge Yuyuka's insult, while Lily wondered why he had been silent the whole time. Akatsu wondered why he didn't feel anything anymore and wondered if the feeling he had earlier was due to Hirota's jealousy. Lily decides to go home and tells him that they are done for the day, and tells him to let her know if he senses any of his kind in the neighborhood and leaves without waiting for his response. The next day, Akatsu wakes up terrified after having a nightmare where he helps Lily eliminate a demon in the form of a monster. And when he goes to school, the two are surprised when Yuyuka comes to their class to apologize for what happened yesterday. And Lily doesn't want to see her at all. She told them that her claim that Hirota was her boyfriend was a joke, that they were actually childhood friends, that she was a classmate in the class next to them, and offered to be friends with Lily. But Lily couldn't find a way out and ended up being friends with a bully. After her departure, Lily vowed to crush her while Akatsu went to get some air on the roof, and while he was deep in thought, his friends joined him and Yuya asked him if he wasn't feeling well while Hirota told him that they were ready to listen to him whenever he needed to talk. Akatsu was furious that he couldn't tell them the truth about Lily and couldn't tell them about seeing her in his dreams, so he had to tell them that he had been seeing an older woman in his dreams lately, which had caused him to suffer from insomnia. Hirota guessed that he had fallen in love and confused Akatsu by having an image of Lily appear in front of him as soon as he mentioned it. When they realized this, they couldn't help but laugh and told him that they thought he was seeing Lily in his dreams and not an older woman. Hirota thought he might need some advice but couldn't help him since he'd never dated a girl before. Akatsu was surprised to hear this after seeing Yuyuka with him yesterday, and told him she was just a childhood friend and they'd gone shopping together. Akatsu told him about the rumors he had heard about him flirting with every girl he saw. Akatsu told him that it was true and that he tried to enter a relationship with any beautiful girl but always ended up failing because of Yuyuka's interference. He suggested that he give in to reality and date her, but he categorically refused for his own reasons. Akatsu received a message from Lily reminding him of their demon hunting mission today, so he made up an excuse that he had a stomachache to get out of it, while Lily was walking around alone and couldn't find a single demon. After 2 hours, she decided to take a break and sat down to eat candy, but Yuyuka appeared out of nowhere to join her. And when she realized that she had been wandering alone all this time, she decided to go with her to enjoy their time together. And Lily couldn't refuse, deciding that she should avoid any conflict with humans as much as possible. He ends up shopping with her at the clothing store and notices that Yuyuka deliberately makes fun of her small size and gives her ill-fitting clothes. She decides to retaliate indirectly. Then she went to get some clothes and gave them to her and asked her to try them on, then mentioned that they might be a size larger than hers, but they would fit her because she was thin. And Yuyuka felt as if she had just been knocked out and suggested that she go somewhere else. After that, they went to the bookstore and the Cold War between them continued. They ended up buying books that indirectly projected their flaws onto each other. Then they went to the studio to take and edit some photos while Akatsu finished his school day and went straight home. The girls then went to lunch together and Lily wondered why she wanted to spend time with her. Yuyuka replied that she hoped to have a chance to talk to her properly and realized that they might get along if they spent more time together. When she asked how she felt, Lily couldn't deny that she enjoyed her time with her and that the competition against her was so unique that she felt relieved. She then confessed that she had no feelings for Hirota and Yuyuka told her that she already knew, but she still felt a little competitive, and they ended up complimenting each other. While they were talking, Lily received a message that made Yuyuka want to withdraw to give her personal space. Before she left her powdered milk powder to help her grow. Lily felt angry that she had gotten her, but decided to forgive her for the nice time she had spent with her. Akatsu, on the other hand, ran as fast as he could to catch up with Lily after sensing a demon in the area around them. And when she saw him standing in front of her, she realized that he was not a good liar and ordered him to take her to the demon. And as soon as she found it, she took out her weapon to prepare to confront it. Akatsu ends up hiding where no one can see him, waiting for Lily to take care of the demon monster, while the monster asks why she wants to eliminate him, to which she replies that he is accused of being responsible for the recent incidents of attacking women. He told her that no one had ever dared to stand in front of him in his true form, and they were surprised after seeing him unleash his power. All Lily noticed was his tight clothing and began to criticize him harshly, causing his self-confidence to collapse. Then Akatsu appeared from his hiding place and started patting the demon to raise his spirits, and then he was surprised that he was one of his kind and accompanying an angel. And he quickly moved away from him and called him a traitor, so Akatsu tried to explain the matter to him. but the demon refused to listen to him before they got rid of Lily. Akatsu tells him that he can't attack her, and before the demon listens to his reasons, he refuses to cooperate with him, then finds Lily threatening to tear his body apart if he interferes with them again. So he suggests that they try to discuss the matter amicably before resorting to violence. Akatsu decides to use force to force them to listen to him and ends up dressing up as a demon monster and singing in his annoying voice. He throws the microphone at Lily to hear her response, and she tells him that she wishes she had never met him, and gives the microphone back to him, to the amazement of the demon, who has no idea how she can deal with someone like Akatsu. The two of them continue to have the worst singing battle in the history of music with their horrible voices and random lyrics while the demon monster suffers because of them, then realizes that Akatsu is doing all this to protect him from death. He approached Akatsu, took the microphone from him, expressed his gratitude for doing so much, ended up hugging each other in front of a disgusted Lily, who decided to forgive him in exchange for him confessing to her what he was after. The demon told her that he was looking for a book and couldn't find it until he ended up seeing a huge poster advertising tight sweatpants that gave people confidence and started enjoying seeing people wearing them in magazines, and soon he was trying to get close to women who wore sweatpants. Lily realizes why he attacks women and decides to free him from his curse and uses her power to turn him into a puppy. As he fades away, he expresses his gratitude towards Akatsu and tells him that he is the only one who has ever been kind to him. After being taken away by the head of the animal rescue organization Kairani, Akatsu asks what she did to him, to which she replies that she sealed his powers and evil thoughts and that this is what always happens with monster demons, but she doesn't know what her organization does when capturing humanoid demons like him. Then she added that she never intends to take a demon's life, and the proof is that she deliberately controlled her power while fighting him so that he wouldn't die. He asked her about the demon she had vanquished the day they first met, and she told him that she hadn't, but had drawn on his body for tearing his jacket, and later learned that the drawing had helped him find a new owner. Akatsu is surprised by her peaceful approach to fighting demons, and wonders if all angels think like her. He can't wrap his head around the fact that it's contrary to the information he already has, since he already knows that angels deal harshly with demon captives, but he can't get his head around the fact that it's the opposite. Then he found her suggesting that they go out to dinner somewhere as a reward for his work, and when she noticed that he was distracted, she asked him if he had anything to say, and he told her that he had always thought that angels were cruel beings, which made him surprised by her kindness. She called him an idiot for only just realizing this and continued on her way, thinking that this was the first time someone had told her that she was kind after she showed her true form, which made her feel happy and ashamed. A few days later, Akatsu woke up after having a perverted dream with Lily to find Shiromura's terrifying face scolding him for taking a nap in the middle of class and ended up getting a thunderous blow from him. Akatsu sits thinking about the adult dreams he's been having about Lily since the day he helped her capture the demon, feeling his heart racing after waking up and refusing to realize that he's in love with her because she's his enemy, and at the same time he can't resist her arousal. In the evening, Akatsu is surprised by Liz's visit at home, and when she starts scolding him for his recent disappearance, he wants to close the door and not receive her, but he is forced to receive her inside, and when he asks her why she came, she tells him that she came as soon as she read his letter. Then she added that there was something she wanted to give him. She told him that there was a uniform she would send him soon, similar to the one she was wearing now. When she asked him about the mission, he got confused and remembered that he originally came to the human world to help his kind and told her that he was still looking for the right leader. He said that he had found someone who seemed suitable but had some personality issues. He was referring to Lily. Liz told him that they were running out of time and that they needed to find the right leader as soon as possible. He was surprised to find that she was going to stay in the same room with him. She had already packed her things in a bag and went to the bathroom to change her clothes without waiting for his response, which put him in an unenviable position, and he felt that he was about to enter into a forbidden love story with his boss. He ended up sleeping on the floor to leave her the bed, although he couldn't sleep enough at the thought of a girl sleeping next to him. The next day, Liz decided to take him for training to communicate with the humans in the neighborhood so that he could convince them to join him. Liz told him that the perfect candidate would be useless to them if he couldn't bring him to hell, and that he had to convince him to join them of his own free will so that he could influence and boost the demon's morale. Akatsu felt irritated when he remembered that his first experience was with Lily, who ended up as a slave. He decided to use a trick to help him get close to people and approached a girl, and pretended to be looking for a lost dog. Then asked her to tell him if she came across it on her way since his sick sister was worried about the dog. In this way, he succeeded in obtaining the girl's information so that she could contact him if she saw the dog, although he felt guilty for having to lie. Liz told him that he should not rely on one method of approaching all women, as each woman has her own way of dealing with them. On the way, she points out a girl and tells him to invite her for tea. When he goes to talk to her, he is shocked to realize that she is Yuyuka. who quickly becomes suspicious of him and accuses him of trying to flirt with girls in the market, although she does not object to the idea of having tea with him and precedes him to the cafe. Meanwhile, Lily wakes up and realizes that she overslept, thinking that she won't be able to hunt demons today and decides to spend the day in a routine. While Akatsu tries to contact Liz to help him get in touch with Yuuka, but he soon found that he couldn't rely on her after she ignored him. Then he found Yuuka asking him directly if he liked Lily, which he categorically denied, and then he heard Liz asking him about Lily's identity, so he decided to ignore her. He then thought to ask her about her relationship with Hirota, and Yuuka told him that she is trying her best, but it's not easy and being his childhood friend doesn't give her any advantage. So Akatsu tried to comfort her with advice, but ended up forgetting what he wanted to say in the middle of the conversation. He decides to use Liz's quote about concentrating strength in different parts of the body, and she tells him that she was the one who was pressuring Hirota the whole time, which made her realize that her actions were wrong from the beginning, and Akatsu feels victorious. He then finds Liz telling him that she's willing to listen to him if he has anything to say about his relationship with Lily. He then finds Liz telling him to invite her to the park at night. He tells her that he can't do that because she likes his friend, and she warns him that disobeying orders will affect his overall rating as a demon. As he whispered to her, he found Yuuka about to leave and automatically grabbed her arm, then apologized when he realized he had to comply with his boss's orders and invite her to sit in the park. On the other hand, Lily took a nap while washing her clothes and realized that she might have caught a cold and thought a warm bath would help her feel better. Meanwhile, Akatsu was with Yuuka in the park and found her telling him that she would keep their meeting today a secret. When Akatsu decided to go home after their meeting was over, Liz appeared and praised Akatsu for his successful execution of the training. She expressed how happy she was to see how he was living his life in the human world and asked him to apply what he had learned today from now on. After her departure, Akatsu went on his way, feeling exhausted and at the same time realizing that he had gained confidence in himself after training under the supervision of his boss and felt the desire to return to complete his mission, but not before Lily had finished controlling him, at which point he gathered his courage and decided to try again to get rid of her. A few days later, Lily feels frustrated as she sits next to Akatsu in class, thinking that her cuteness and beauty are enough to make him fall in love with her. But she is surprised to find that he has become more glamorous than her, and while she is distracted, she is surprised to find him poking her. She realized that it was a direct challenge from him and threatened him that she would use her power to control him, but it ended with a sarcastic smile from him that made her angry. After class, Akatsu was walking down the hallway and found her running towards him to ask where the teacher was. She thought she had managed to get through to him, but surprisingly, he responded coldly and told her where he was, which made her feel that something was wrong and she thought it was her. But when two of her classmates appeared by chance and she managed to influence them, she realized that she hadn't lost her skills yet, so she tried another trick on him. While she was pretending to fix her hair, Akatsu was busy on his phone and didn't bother to look at her. He continued to ignore her throughout the day until she was surprised when he told her that the ponytail suited her, and she felt confused. Lily sat there thinking about how to turn the tables on him while Akatsu was steadily moving forward with his plan to trap her until Lily decided to do something about it. After he left the classroom, she followed him stealthily until the crucial moment came and jumped towards him on purpose to fall on top of him, only to end up in his arms. But she ended up in his arms after he rescued her as if he knew she was going to do it. He looked her straight in the eye and told her that he didn't want her cute face to get hurt. Lily couldn't hide her embarrassment as she blushed and lost the Cold War against him. Then she felt as if Akatsu was reading her mind and telling her that she had underestimated him too much even though she knew he was a demon. And when she decided to leave quickly, he caught her and insisted on taking her to the school clinic for a checkup. Akatsu waits for her outside the clinic, feeling proud of his victory over her. Liz, on the other hand, decides to disguise herself as a student so that she can enter the school and check on Akatsu. After Lily finishes her examination, she tells him that there's nothing serious. Then she saw Akatsu drinking water from his flask, and when he noticed it, he realized that she wanted to drink and was about to go get water for her, but was surprised when she took his flask and hesitated to drink in his place, telling him that this would be considered an indirect kiss, which made him feel embarrassed. Lily thought she had finally got him, but soon realized that he was unaffected by his strange reaction. She noticed his slight smile as he tried to hide it with his hand and decided to try the trick again and hesitated to drink in his place seriously. Before he could grab it, she used her strength to smash it on top of them and let the water spill over her, hoping that her wet body would seduce him. But she was surprised when he took off his jacket to put it on her before she caught a cold. Frustrated that her tricks had failed to impress him, she sat in class and asked Yuuka if there was a way to crush a man's heart, and Yuuka thought that maybe a certain method would work. Afterward, she was on her way home with Akatsu, and when he asked if they were going to go demon hunting together for a while, she told him that she had changed her plans for the day. Akatsu was puzzled when she told him that they were heading to her house to drop off the items she had bought. Akatsu realizes that she's trying to lure him into her trap and vows to break her spirits in half. Akatsu is shocked by the enormity of the building and ends up sitting in her living room after comparing her apartment building to his own. Then Lily appeared in front of him, wearing her cooking uniform, which made him in a pitiful state and tried to resist her beauty with great difficulty to start the second round of their psychological warfare. And then he pretended to be ashamed after thinking that she was completely naked. But he soon felt relieved when he realized that she was dressed. Afterward, Lily served him food and was surprised to see him in a dazed state as if it was the first time in his life to see food. He told her that he thought she couldn't cook, which made her angry, and told him that she had no difficulty living on her own. After she left, Akatsu hesitated to eat his food after considering the possibility that it might taste bad despite its quality. But when he took the first bite, he was shocked that it tasted unexpectedly delicious. But when she asked him what he thought, he just said it wasn't bad. She told him that her pasta was just an appetizer compared to the other items. Then she brought more food and sat down to eat it with him while he was in a state of shock. Then he asked her if she liked pasta, and she told him that she eats it 4 days a week, and Akatsu advised her to try to balance the types of food she eats. Lily was curious to know what he eats and almost burst out laughing when he told her that he eats green peppers with some other ingredients, and she told him that peppers are not a separate food item, and he felt angry that she made fun of his favorite food. Akatsu finds that Lily refuses the movie he recommended because it's full of bugs and decides to use her fear of bugs against her. They end up arguing about movies while their peers sit and watch like it's an entertaining movie. Akatsu notices Lily's immersion in the movie and realizes that she is a girl after all, even if she's not human. He soon begins to sense a romantic atmosphere between them and decides not to get caught up in it. However, he was surprised to see the two protagonists kissing and was furious while Lily was so focused that Akatsu couldn't hide his excitement for her, and when their eyes met, they looked away. Lily, feeling irritated and wanting to get out of this situation, started to go to get a drink, but suddenly she tripped and almost fell. Akatsu wanted to catch her, but he ended up falling right on top of her, gradually losing control and wishing that Lily would try to run away from him, but she remained motionless and staring at him. Akatsu was about to follow his instincts and go completely out of control, but he was saved by the sound of Lily's phone alarm, which interrupted them at a crucial moment, and then found her asking him to get up. And Akatsu decided to leave while Lily was about to explode with shame, and while they were both lost in their thoughts about what happened, they ended up realizing her words that they are falling in love with each other. The next day, Lily was having a hard time concentrating due to lack of sleep and felt like she was going to pass out at any moment. Then she remembered what happened between her and Akatsu yesterday, and was embarrassed that he was about to kiss her. Then she thought that she should defeat him and send him back to the world where he belongs. Suddenly, she closed her eyes for a moment and found herself standing somewhere other than the school. And on the other side, Akatsu realized that she had fallen asleep as he was feeling the same symptoms. When he took a nap in class, he joined her in her dream. And upon seeing him, Lily realized that she was in such a pitiful state that she was seeing him in her dreams, and then found him offering to help her. So she thought to wake herself up somehow and decided to treat it like a game to try to overcome it. Then she was surprised when he changed shape without warning, as if it was a glitch in the game, and she found that there were two options, but she couldn't read clearly, so she decided to follow the first option. And then Akatsu created multiple versions of himself, leaving her in a confused state. Akatsu was actually awake in class and felt as if he had seen Lily fall asleep in class before. And when he took a look at her sleeping form, he found it ridiculous and decided to keep this secret to himself. Meanwhile, Lily was trying to use her dream to figure out a way to influence his emotions and control him so that she could wake up. And the thought of going on a date with him made her feel awkward, even though she felt like she was in a simulation game. Then Akatsu randomly and strangely appeared in front of her, making her uncomfortable during sleep. Akatsu thought about waking her up, but when he saw her smiling, he realized she was happy and backed off. In the dream, Akatsu sat next to her, eating ice cream while Lily couldn't look at his face. As she was trying to collect herself and organize her thoughts about him, she was surprised when he touched her face to tell her that he felt he was in love with her, and she didn't realize it for a moment before the choice between closing her eyes or keeping them open appeared in front of her. She decided not to close her eyes, but quickly hesitated before pressing the option due to her curiosity about what would happen if she chose to close her eyes. And before she chose to close her eyes, Master Shiramura appeared and cut Akatsu in half with his sword in front of her eyes and left quietly. Akatsu fell to the ground drenched in his own blood. When she approached him, he apologized for his failure and told her that he had fallen in love for the first time and asked her to smile at him for the last time before he died. And Lily began to shed tears while screaming his name. Lily then woke up to Akatsu's voice and soon realized that it was just a nightmare, and found him next to her with Yuuka and was so relieved to see that he was okay that she almost cried again. In the evening, Lily went to the school clinic to get some rest. After waking up, she thought that she was getting confused these days and was surprised to see Akatsu enter the room. She hid under the covers and pretended to sleep while she thought about why he was here. When he expresses concern for her and says that he came to check on her, she realizes that he's trying to use any excuse to make her fall in love with him more. So she decides to ruin his plan and emerges from under the covers to find out what exactly he wants from her. She was shocked to find that he had already removed his tie and thought he was trying to seduce her in some way or attack her in her sleep. So she decided to use violence to prevent her from falling prey to him and use the collar to restrain him. Akatsu marveled at her sudden use of force and ended up standing in awkward positions after she had complete control over his body movement. When she openly accused him of wanting to attack her in her sleep, he told her that the thought had never occurred to him in the first place. When she asked him about removing his tie, he told her that he wanted to ask her a favor about the collar. She felt she was being too quick to judge him. When he asked her to erase the tattoo on his neck, she refused to remove the collar for no reason. And Akatsu mustered up the courage to tell her that he wanted to go to Sento's bathhouse. Lily wonders if he's thinking of going to a pool when he's in the middle of a mission for his own kind. He told her frankly that he wasn't doing so well in hell, that he felt good when he came to the human world and met all kinds of people, so he wanted to make time for fun and entertainment in this shining world for him. Then he realized that she wouldn't understand how he felt because she was an angel living in a shiny world. And when he looked at her, he realized that he made a mistake by talking about his life in front of her and thought she would laugh at him. But what happened was that she told him that she kind of understood what he meant and agreed to cleanse his body from the effect of the collar. She asks him to sit still so she can rewrite the spell for the collar, but ends up accidentally summoning an anti-demon weapon, a blonde girl who looks kind of like her. Akatsu is surprised to find that he was attacked, but manages to dodge it. When he asks her who it is, Lily tells him that she deliberately left a copy of herself around his neck to get him in case he betrayed her. She's surprised to find her copy attacking her, despite being her master, and things get chaotic in the classroom. Lily then thought that her clone might have malfunctioned due to being inside a demon's body for so long. Then they found the teacher Shiromura breaking into the classroom after sensing a strange movement inside, and she asked Akatsu to protect him before he was killed. Before the weapon could reach the teacher, Akatsu managed to stop her. Then Lily used her power to restrain the weapon, then asked Akatsu to take the teacher to another place after he lost consciousness before the weapon tried to break free from the restraints. When Shiromura regained consciousness, Akatsu pretended that he wasn't there but came when he heard his voice. When the teacher remembered being attacked, he told him to evacuate the school immediately. When he lost consciousness again, Lily had to quickly remove him by dragging him away. Lily then decided to head to the playground so that she could fight her clone in a large space and control it. As they exited the classroom, they found that her clone had broken free of its restraints and followed them. She used the opportunity to create a protective barrier around them to prevent anyone else from interfering. And for the first time, a demon would fight alongside an angel to overcome the brute strength of Lily's clone. When Lily tried to restrain her, the clone was able to easily break her chain, much to Lily's confusion, as her clone shouldn't be that strong. And when the clone focused on Akatsu, Lily noticed a strange emblem on her back. Akatsu tried to fight the clone with all his might, but ended up receiving a thunderous kick that pushed him away. And when he saw it preparing to slaughter Lily, he shouted at her to run away, but she remained motionless as she saw it approaching her. Akatsu had to take matters into his own hands and blocked her before she could finish Lily off. He pushed her away and continued to exchange attacks with her, telling Lily that they shouldn't be defeated before their missions. Lily thought she had become complacent after dedicating herself to her mission, but she fell to her first major test. Feeling pathetic because a demon was trying to encourage her to keep fighting, she decided to come up with a plan to take down her clone. She told Akatsu that she was under someone's control, and when she told him what she was going to do, he had no choice but to follow her. He used himself as bait and attacked her clone, but he aimed his strike at the ground to block her view and prevent her from blocking his attacks. But when he got close enough, he was surprised to see her stick her axe into his body after she sensed the direction he was coming from. However, it soon becomes clear that she was attacking a fake version of him after the real Akatsu appears and manages to catch her, at which point Lily appears and targets her back. And when she sees a bunch of snakes coming out of her back, she realizes that her guess is correct and decides to get her copy back at all costs. Akatsu felt that his power was completely gone. She apologized and told him that it was because he was still tied up, and he realized that this was the reason why he couldn't use his full strength in the fight. When he asked her where the copy went, she told him that she had put it back inside herself after she freed it from whoever was controlling it. And suddenly Lily fell unconscious and the barrier gradually began to disappear, so Akatsu decided to pick her up and run away quickly. On the other side, a mysterious woman, who turned out to be the one controlling Lily's clone, was furious after losing control of her because of her, and wondered if Lily was that strong all the time, and sent her brother to check it out. Meanwhile, Akatsu takes Lily back to her house, and when he starts to indulge in his perverted thoughts, he immediately retreats and puts a blanket over her, relieved that they are done fighting the clone, but soon realizes that his issue with the tattoo has not yet been resolved, and as he is about to leave, he feels Lily clinging to his pants and asks him not to leave. Akatsu was shocked to hear her asking him to stay so late, and refused to accept the idea of staying in the same house with her. But he soon realized that she was not herself after he found her hand shaking and had to sit in front of her bed all night so that she could sleep peacefully. Then he sat thinking about the events of the day and that he would not be able to escape even after the disappearance of her copy because of his color. And he felt frustrated that he could not convince her to change his color at least so that it would not be visible. And he hoped that she would return the favor of his help to him one day. He stopped at the thought that he had chosen to help her in the first place, that he could have left her to her own devices, and ended up asking himself if he was really a good person, and was surprised when another version of himself appeared to tell him that it wouldn't change the fact that he was a demon. Akatsu realized he was dreaming when he saw himself standing in front of another version of himself approaching him and telling him that he had helped the enemy because he was in love with her. While Akatsu tried to deny it, his counterpart told him that he had a good chance of getting close to her, especially since she was feeling scared right now. He is surprised to find him confidently telling him that Lily has feelings for him. As she is about to wake up, he is excited to see her pretty face, but ends up getting beaten up by his teacher who appears out of nowhere. In the meantime, Lily woke up and was surprised to find herself in her room sleeping in her school uniform. She went out of the room to change her clothes, and when she returned, she was surprised to see Akatsu lying on the floor talking in his sleep. And then she remembered that she was the one who asked him to stay without realizing it. She decided to take advantage of the opportunity and attack him with a heavy object to erase his memories. But she quickly retreated after noticing the injury he sustained while trying to protect her. So she treated him and hesitated before expressing her gratitude to him and telling him that he shouldn't have helped her since they were enemies. Then she was shocked when she remembered that she had already promised him a hug for every mission he completed. And although she was joking at the time, she found herself in a dilemma and had to fulfill her promise because of her dignity, and decided to pretend that it never happened and will never happen again. On the other hand, Shiramura was lecturing Akatsu in his dream about how to understand women's thinking, and his facial expressions reflected this, making Lily doubt that he was awake, as she couldn't believe he was encouraging her in his sleep. She ended up sitting next to him with her back to him, worried that he would wake up at any time, but she was shocked to find him hugging her while he was asleep, making her almost explode in embarrassment. Then she noticed that his body was trembling and remembered that he almost lost his life to protect her, and she didn't expect to feel comforted by his mere presence near her. And when she realized that she had indulged in her thoughts too much, she immediately retreated. Then she remembered that he had asked her to change the color of the tattoo so that no one would notice it, so she used her magic to make it almost invisible. And then she noticed that he had left a note on the balcony after he broke it to tell her that he would compensate her when he had the money. The next day, Akatsu woke up and found himself chained up while Lily was sleeping in her bed. As he started to go out, he realized that his hand had already been treated, and as soon as he used the door, Lily woke up and came out after him to find him making breakfast for them. She pretended to be irritated and asked why he was making her breakfast. She told him she didn't need to be taken care of by a demon. He said he wanted to express his gratitude for her healing his hand, and she told him she had done her duty as his owner. When they sat down to eat, he told her it wouldn't be as good as the pasta she had already made. Before she ate, she realized he would have trouble eating because of his hand injury, so she decided to feed him. As she blushed, she told him she would do it just this once, but he didn't pay attention to her and ate his own food. When she started eating, she was surprised that he was a good cook. Then they started going to school together, and she noticed that Akatsu looked as bright as sunlight. Then she was surprised that he was walking in the opposite direction to the school road, and he told her that he would not attend the first class and would go home to take a shower. She started scolding him for not paying attention to school classes. He told her that he was busy helping her yesterday and needed to get his life in order. She decided to mess with him and told him that his collar would have exploded if she had died, which made him feel shocked, but soon turned into anger when he realized she was joking. So she told him that he should be grateful that she changed the color of the tattoo as he asked her to. He felt happy and thanked her for her help and seemed excited to go to the Sento pools. While he was close to her and holding her hand, they came across Hirota and Yuuka on their way and unfortunately saw them holding hands and thought they were having a romantic moment. Lily realizes that they're in trouble after the school is in chaos due to the news that she and Akatsu were seen leaving her house. Akatsu tells her that he tried to follow Hirota and Yuuka after they left in a hurry and couldn't catch up with them. Lily told him that they were the reason why the news spread among their classmates like wildfire, as soon as she entered the classroom, she found 7 girls giving her uncomfortable glances, and she realized that she was going to have a bad day, so she thought about using her power to eliminate them, but she ended up being surrounded by them as soon as she sat down, which made her feel scared. Akatsu was surprised that the rumors about them had spread so quickly and suspected that someone else was watching them. She told him that Hirota was the one causing all the commotion as he kept muttering what he saw in front of everyone until his hair fell out in shock. Akatsu wonders if it's that upsetting to her and thinks that he doesn't care as much as she does and that it won't affect his job. But he soon realizes that it will if everyone knows he's dating her and the girls won't want to talk to him for any reason. So he decided to help Lily take care of it and offered her to cooperate with him. When he held out his hand to her, she realized that he was shaking with fear and couldn't control his body and agreed to cooperate with him. Then she returned to class and found that the number of girls inside had increased and deliberately told them that she wasn't dating Akatsu. To her chagrin, Yuyuka joined the crowd of girls, making her position vulnerable. She then proceeded to carry out her plan with Akatsu, pretending to go for a drink. When she opened the door, Akatsu was waiting outside and pretended to see her by chance. After she left, everyone realized that they had put on a shameless show to hide their relationship. That's when the manga geek known as Koyamatsu appeared and told them that they seemed to be able to have a normal conversation while maintaining their personal space, and that if they were pretending, they would be embarrassed. According to her, she decides that they are not dating, although there is a possibility that they are just pretending to be friends, and decides to keep an eye on them while Akatsu feels triumphant that Lily's plan worked. And their classmates fell for it and calls her to let her hear what they are saying about them. And Yuya tells them about the terrifying developments Hirota went through after seeing Hirota and Lily together. Afterward, they gathered with their comrades for lunch in the food court, and Yuya told them about the terrifying developments Hirota had gone through after seeing Akatsu and Lily together, and that his appearance had become so old that he was indistinguishable from Master Shiramura, but he returned to normal after he calmed down. At that time, Lily remembered Yuyuka's invitation to have lunch together, and her tone sounded threatening. She wanted to communicate with body language to warn Akatsu about her, but he was busy filling his stomach. She found Yuyuka apologizing to her about what happened earlier in the morning and that she couldn't resist her curiosity, and asked her to let her eat from her plate as an apology. Lily saw no reason to refuse, and as everyone watched, she turned her attention to Akatsu and asked him if he was jealous. Lily realized that she had done it on purpose to expose them, and Yuyuka quickly put them in an awkward position when she asked Lily to feed him, thinking that he might expect this move and would not relax his defense. But everyone was shocked when Yuyuka fed him without warning. It turns out that Yuyuka was acting on the instructions of Koyamatsu, who told her to make sure someone was jealous so that they would be exposed, and she realized she was right when she saw the expression on Lily's face, while Akatsu didn't hesitate to eat from her hand. When Yuyuka analyzed their reactions, she realized that they weren't dating since they weren't staring at each other in a suspicious manner, and guessed that there was another reason why they were together near her house. Lily, on the other hand, was puzzled by her discomfort and guessed that it might be because she had to see his stupid face while she was eating. They were shocked when Yuyuka messed with them and asked him to go somewhere with her for the weekend. Akatsu can't refuse so as not to arouse suspicion, and a few days later he ends up accompanying her to the eyeglass store. As he thinks about why she asked him out, she tells him not to be so nervous and that she just wanted to spend some time with him. Although he's already feeling overwhelmed, he's relieved that he doesn't have to go on a hunting mission with Lily as usual and decides to have a little fun with Yuyuka. In the meantime, Lily and the others are watching them closely, and she gets irritated when she notices how happy he is. She decided to keep watching him in order to save the situation before he did anything stupid, and had to bring Hirota and Yuya with her to justify her presence in case she got caught. Yuya expressed his confusion when he saw that Yuyuka and Akatsu looked like they were on a date, and his words fell like a thunderbolt on Lily's head. After that, they continued to watch them throughout the day as they shopped, and Lily constantly felt a tightness in her chest whenever she saw them looking like a couple. When Yuya noticed Lily and Hirota's discontent, he told them that they should be more open about their feelings. Then he remembered that he had work to do and had to leave them to continue watching. Hirota excused himself to go to the restroom and ended up alone, so she sat down to take a break and thought about going home. When she remembered what Yuya had said before he left, she realized that he wanted to tell her indirectly that she was jealous. She tried to deny it in her mind, but she couldn't hide her feelings when she remembered all the situations she had experienced with him. Suddenly, Akatsu and Yuyuka appeared in front of her from afar, intending to sit down to take a break. She thought about hiding before they noticed her presence and ended up behind the grass, surprisingly falling into a small pool of water, and had to not move to avoid detection. When they sat down, she could hear them clearly, and Yuyuka asked what was going on between him and her. Akatsu realized that this was her goal all along, and replied that he thought Lily was a cute girl. She then asked him what he liked about her, and he sat there thinking that he should be honest about her qualities, even though she was his enemy. Then he replied that Lily has a strong determination, a goal that she works hard to achieve, and a kind heart, and Yuyuka realized that he had feelings for her because he mentioned deep qualities about her, while Lily dived into the lake in shame and almost drowned and could not control herself. When she hears Yuyuka ask him if he's thinking of dating her because they have something in common, he tells her without hesitation that he has his own goals to work towards, which makes him not think they'll end up as a couple. While they were talking, Lily accidentally made a noise behind them, and soon their attention was caught by Hirota looking like he was looking for someone. When he approached them, Yuyuka noticed that he had 2 drinks in his hands, and he slipped up and said that one of them was for Lily. which angered her and she started kicking his ass in front of Akatsu, who told her that Yuya was with them as well. Yuyuka decided to leave with Hirota, and when they were alone, she asked him how it went with Lily. He just said it was fine. In the evening, Lily suffered from symptoms of illness due to her long stay in the water, and her body temperature remained low even after taking a warm bath, so she decided to go to sleep while thinking about what Akatsu said about their relationship. And after she fell into a deep sleep, her anti-demon version slipped out of her body. The next day, all the students were talking about how Lily was absent from school today due to her illness, and while Akatsu was thinking that the class had become a peaceful and quiet place after her absence, he was shocked to see her evil clone come in disguise and sit in her place in class. Akatsu immediately took a ready stance, thinking that she had come to confront him again. Then he found his classmates asking if he knew this girl. He felt confused and could not reply. Then the girl told them that her name was Lilia, Lily's older sister, and that she had come to attend classes in her place. Akatsu was surprised that she intended to use this lie to stay in school for a longer time. After the teacher entered the classroom, he thought that Lilia was a student from another class, but Yuya told him that she came to attend classes instead of her sister. And when the teacher tried to politely refuse, she told him that she insisted on attending classes. And then the teacher remembered that she was the girl who attacked him that day, so he had to agree to her requests. On the other hand, Akatsu was thinking that she wouldn't attack him in this large gathering of students and that she might not remember him. But he soon found her approaching him and calling him by his name under the pretext that Lily was telling her everything about him and that she was able to get out after her illness, a word that caught Akatsu's attention even though he didn't understand what it meant. After class started, Akatsu noticed her sitting quietly and silently and couldn't stop asking himself why she was there. He guessed that Lily had sent her to watch him, and when he looked at her, he saw that she was struggling to get the lead into the pen and looked ridiculous. As he laughed at her, she indirectly attacked him with the bullets, but she couldn't hit him and pretended they slipped out of her hand. But Akatsu realized it was intentional. In gym class, Akatsu and his classmates watched Lilia play volleyball and found his classmates infatuated with her. He thought about how they would react if they found out her true identity. As she was about to hit the ball, Akatsu automatically took a defensive stance when he caught her giving him a deadly look. But he ended up falling to the ground from the powerful blow of the ball. After class, Akatsu sat alone, thinking about why she had invited him to talk in a quiet place alone, and then found her walking towards him, apologizing for attacking him and Lily the other day, and that she was unaware of what was going on around her. Akatsu was confused and told her that he wasn't upset since they found out that someone was already controlling her, so he would forgive her this time. Lilia felt like a unique demon and Akatsu felt the same way because she apologized to her master's enemy and told her that she looked a lot like Lily. Lilia told him that she had been influenced by her soul after it was implanted in her, and that she had become so much like her that she felt she was not allowed to have self-awareness. Then she added that she was curious about the school after noticing the change in Lily since she joined. And despite her difficulty in dealing with others, she seemed to enjoy her time, which is why she went out and came today. Akatsu tells her that she has no reason to attack him as she just said, and when he asks her why she attacked him twice today, she tells him that she feels angry at him because he was the reason Lily got sick while he had no idea about it. Lilia is shocked that he doesn't know why Lily got sick, so she decides to tell him herself and accuses him of deliberately wooing other women even though he knows she's attracted to him and is watching what he does. And as they talk, they are surprised to find Yuyuka joining them. They ended up escorting her to Lily's house to check on her, and while Yuyuka was communicating with her over the radio, Lilia wanted to get out of the situation and run away, but Akatsu tightened his grip and told her she wasn't going anywhere. She was surprised when he realized that she hadn't told him about going to school instead. Lily greeted them warmly and apologized for worrying them, while Lilia deliberately turned her back to them so they wouldn't see her, but soon had to reveal herself after noticing her presence, and Lily was shocked and wondered to herself why she was here. Yuyuka pretended to be her older sister and found her telling her that everyone loved her and that she fit in quickly. Lilia told them that she went to the school to see how Lily spent her time with them and to make sure she didn't bother anyone. Yuyuka expressed her surprise that Lily had an older sister since she didn't talk about herself much, and Lilia didn't hesitate to tell them everything about herself, even unnecessary details, so Lily decided to send her shopping so as not to cause her any more embarrassment. After she left, Lily went to make tea for them. Akatsu, sensing that she wouldn't be okay alone, followed her into the kitchen. Meanwhile, Lily started feeling sick again and almost fell down, but Akatsu caught her and realized that she had a fever. Remembering his words about their relationship, Lily removes his hand and asks him to come back and wait with Yuyuka. Before he leaves, she asks him how their date went that day and finds that she is having a lot of confusion and mixed emotions. Lily was jealous and wanted to ask him if he enjoyed his time with Yuyuka more than he enjoyed his time with her, but she ended up pushing him out of the room and passed out. After a while, Lily woke up with Yuyuka by her side and told her that she had to leave for the time being and that Akatsu would stay with her until Lilia returned. And before she left, she told her that he was a very nice person. Then she turned to Akatsu and told him not to do anything suspicious after she left. Before she left, she told him that she never believes in words. After she left, Akatsu waited for Lilia's return in the living room, feeling confused as he tried to piece together the events of the day, wondering if Lilia had been around when he was with Yuyuka and something had happened to make her upset with him now, and was shocked to remember the embarrassing situations he had been put in because of Yuyuka, and wondered if Lily had witnessed any of them, even remembering when she asked him if he was thinking of dating her and he told her he didn't think that would happen. He decides to go into the room to check on her, and when he enters, he finds her asleep and looking like she's having a nightmare. He hesitates to wake her up, but when he approaches her, he's surprised to find her clinging to his shirt and calling his name. And soon Lily wakes up and asks him why he's there. She was surprised to realize that she was clinging to him, which made her feel embarrassed and told him that he could leave. He wanted to check on her, and when he put his hand on her forehead, he realized that her temperature had dropped. While she almost exploded in shame, he then told her that he would wait outside until Lilia returned. Before leaving, he told her that she came to school today to apologize to him for attacking them the other day, and found that she looked a lot like her. And Lily confidently told him that it was obvious that she was influenced by her. Akatsu tells her that he thinks they wouldn't have to fight each other if all angels were like her, but he quickly backtracks and calls it a stupid idea, while Lily blushes and sarcastically tells him that the earth would be hell if all demons were like him. As he was about to leave, she hesitated before asking him to stay by her side and hold her hand so that she would fall asleep and not have nightmares. Akatsu was surprised by her request and had no idea what to do, but he found that she was sincere, so he sat next to her and held her hand until she fell asleep, while Lily felt happy. Before their hands could meet, Lilia spoiled the moment with her sudden return. And when Lily asked her about the items, she told her that she had bought them, and then found Lilia asking her what they were doing before she came, as Lily's feelings for her leaked out, and they were mixed with warmth, excitement, and sadness, leaving Lily in an unenviable position in front of Akatsu after he found out about her. The next day, Lily recovered and decided to go out with Akatsu on a demon hunting mission. She thought they should go to breakfast first before starting the mission and told him to consider it a token of thanks for his visit. And then they were surprised by a mysterious person who appeared in front of them and spoke to Lily as if he had known her for a long time. This person turned out to be Lily's brother named Zwei, and Akatsu was confused by the fact that he was in the same place with two angels, and when Zwei asked him who he was, he remained silent and stood sweating in front of him, and Lily told him that he was a classmate. Zwei introduces himself after making sure he's not a bad guy, and they shake hands. Then he wants to talk to Lily in private. As she leaves with him, Akatsu realizes that something is wrong with her and ends up sitting alone, blaming himself for feeling too nervous in front of her brother and is relieved that he can't figure out that he's a demon. Then he wondered why Lily was so nervous about leaving with her brother and hoped that Zwei wasn't a bad guy. On the other hand, Zwei put up a barrier around them so no one could see or hear them, and Lily ended up kneeling in front of him while he scolded her for spending her time as if she were human. When he mentioned Akatsu's name, she wanted to make sure to convince him that he was just a classmate and nothing more. She raised her head to ask him why he had come, and he took out his sword and stuck it right in front of her, telling her not to raise her head without his permission. He then told her that he came to ask her how she was able to defeat the copy that their sister was controlling, which made Lily feel confused and didn't know how to convince him. She then told him that she summoned Lilia out of curiosity, ended up fighting, and somehow she was able to defeat her and remove the thing that was controlling her. Zwei couldn't help but believe her, and then told her that they had discovered that the demons she had defeated since she came to the human world were of the monster variety, though he found it hard to believe that there weren't any human-like demons. He asked her directly if she was being lazy and looking for them or if she was up to something. She tried to convince him that she was having a hard time finding this type of demon because they have a mind and a consciousness that makes them smarter. He told her that he and their sister were worried that she was planning something out of spite, as she had been through a lot because of their older sister. Lily was surprised that he brought it up and told him that they had given her a job like any other angel, and expressed her gratitude for that. Zwei apologized for doubting her and decided to leave quietly, and asked her to continue working hard. Before he left, he told her that their sister had set a trap for her by making her lose control of Lilia when she summoned her to make sure she would have difficulty fighting against her. She also mentioned that this trap is activated on one condition and that there is a demon near her when she summons her. Lily was shocked that she had been exposed, and Zwei didn't hesitate to rush at her, knocking her to the ground and then taking out his sword and sticking it near her face, accusing her of being in the company of a demon when she summoned Lily. She was trying to get out but was unable to free herself. While Zwei was interrogating her, Lily feared that he was going to get rid of her now and wished that Akatsu was nearby. Meanwhile, Akatsu was watching them closely and saw what was happening, but hesitated to intervene when he realized that Zwei was on a higher power level than she was. He tried to communicate with Liz, thinking that spending time with Lily had made him forget that angels are monstrous creatures. When Liz answered his call, Akatsu was having a hard time making up his mind. He told her that he had spotted an angel nearby and decided to expose himself to Zwei. He managed to break through his barrier, but Zwei was able to avoid him. Akatsu tells Liz that he's been spotted and starts thinking of a plan to distract him, while Sui immediately realizes it's a humanoid demon and attacks it without hesitation, guessing it's the demon that was with Lily when she summoned Lilia. He tells Lily that he will punish her for lying after he takes over Akatsu. Akatsu starts to think of a way to evade him and save Lily at the same time, but he is soon surprised when she restrains him and scolds him for exposing himself in front of Sui. He told her that he couldn't bear to see her suffer like that. She started crying and told him that everything was over, that she would be investigated, and that the angels wouldn't hesitate to eliminate him. He tells her that his body moved on its own because he hates seeing her cry, so she releases him. When he gets up, he decides to force Sui to leave somehow without having to get rid of him, but Lily tells him that he doesn't have a chance. Although Akatsu can only use half of his strength, he summoned the courage to face Sui and was confident that he could beat him, which made Sui feel interesting and offered to let it go if he could hit him with a single blow. When they began to clash, Akatsu was surprised by his speed and realized he was fighting a twisted style. He focused on his sword and managed to break it. When he thought he was close enough, he ended up tied up by 4 Lily-like clones, and Sui told him that they belonged to him. Akatsu is furious that he is unable to move and remains under their power while Sui underestimates him and tells him that he can finish him off right away. But it won't be fun for him. He orders Lily to approach him and asks her directly how she managed to get him to stand next to her. Akatsu doesn't understand what he's talking about and orders Lily to tell him the truth before he dies. But she refuses and begs him to forgive her. Sui ripped off her socks and then removed the surface of her skin with his sword to show that her real body is surrounded by certain marks and does not have a human body. Akatsu was furious that he treated her this way and felt like beating him. Akatsu was surprised to find him asking him the same question about why he accompanied his sister even though they were enemies and that Lily was an angel without wings. Akatsu was surprised by his statement and remembered that she had shown him her wings when they first met. And when Sui learned that he had seen her wings earlier, he ordered her to show them to him. Then he approached Akatsu and told him that wings are a sign of an angel's strength and went towards Lily and tore her wings to pieces to reveal that they are a fabric from her chains and not real wings, and Sui told him that she is just a fraud, then showed him his real wings, which look completely different from hers, while all Akatsu was thinking about was that he wants to break free and teach him a lesson after he humiliated Lily in front of him and destroyed her dignity, and then unleashed his power to transform into his original form as a demon. Sui hears a crackling sound and thinks that Akatsu has been resisting his clone until he breaks himself, but he is shocked to see one of the clones flying before his eyes after Akatsu unleashes his power, and starts tearing the others apart one by one without mercy. Sui tried to cut his neck with his sword, but Akatsu tightened his grip on his blade before it reached him, and Sui noticed his wings coming out of his body, and before he realized it, he received a thunderous punch from Akatsu, and Lily wondered, as she had never heard of demons with black wings before. Then she saw him approaching her and tried to call him by his name, but he wasn't listening to her, so she wondered if he was still the Akatsu she knew. Then he disappeared from her and rushed towards Sui to give him a kick that caused him to bleed and continued kicking his ass in front of Lily's eyes while enjoying torturing him, while Sui realized how strong he was and found it interesting to get so angry for Lily. Then he remembered seeing his sister sitting alone in her room, and as soon as she felt someone watching her behind the door, he ran away. He couldn't feel anger and sorrow like Akatsu and thought that maybe he wasn't cut out to be a big brother to Lily. Just as Akatsu was about to finish him off with a final blow, he stopped when he saw Lily standing in front of him to protect her brother. On the other side, Liz was preparing to execute the emergency plan after Akatsu was caught in a fight with an angel. Lily tells him to stop and warns him that if he causes Sui's death, the rest will come after him. She tells him that even though he's tough on her, he's never physically hurt her, and she had to admit her brother's defeat in front of him in order for him to leave him alone. She ended up receiving a resounding slap from him, which enraged Sui, so she used her power to restrain him and prevent him from finishing him off, and tried to help him come to his senses, but he turned his focus on her and started attacking her instead. Lily was surprised that his control abilities no longer worked through the collar, and when Akatsu continued to attack her, Sui stepped in to protect her, and they both noticed that Akatsu's wings seemed to have a similar nature to their own. Sui then told her that he uses his wings to store energy, which is why he was suddenly so fast. But the problem lies in the fact that he used the stored energy with only one wing while he has 5. So Lily concluded that he would come to his senses after he ran out of stored energy by having to use all his wings, and decided to hold out until then. Sui tells her that it's almost impossible as he has the physical advantage, and they have no chance against him. He then decides to take care of 4 wings while Lily gets rid of the last one. She wonders if he intends to help him come to his senses, and he tells her that he wants to get rid of him, but he feels something is bothering him. After Akatsu becomes invisible to them due to his speed, they set a trap for him, and as soon as he reappears, they manage to tie him up and trap him. But Lily loosens her defense so that he can free himself, so Sui gets close enough, and when he ends up on the ground, he uses his wings and manages to break 4 of Akatsu's wings in one fell swoop. Lily intervened to break the last wing, using a fake version of herself to distract him, then managed to sneak up behind him and break his last wing in one fell swoop. As she did so, she remembered that they had spent so much time together that she knew so much about him without even realizing it. Then she grabbed him and begged him to come to his senses again, crying. When Akatsu's strength faded, he took her in his arms after he came to his senses, then turned his way and told him that he would let him leave alive and vowed not to show him any mercy if he harmed Lilia again. And before he left, he thanked him for helping him regain consciousness. In the evening, Akatsu returned home carrying Lily, and while she was still unconscious, he tried to help her change her clothes, but he couldn't get her shirt off and couldn't bear the thought of his bed being filled with germs because of her dirty clothes. Akatsu tried to think of a way to get rid of her dirty clothes, but to no avail, so he decided to do it himself. But he was hesitant about it. Then he was surprised when Lilia appeared and took over for him and ended up rushing out of the room after seeing her half naked. After Lilia finished changing her clothes, she told Akatsu that she wanted to talk to him outside the house, and then extended her hand to him to go up to the roof through the window. And that's when Akatsu noticed that she had a rash on her wrist. She told him that these bruises were the result of her futile resistance, as she had tried to get out when Lily was defeated by Zwei. But Zwei had tied her up, forcing her to stay inside and endure the fear and grief that flowed from her. Akatsu realized that she had already seen what had happened to him and wanted to know exactly what he had done. She replied that he was the most disgusting demon she had ever seen, as he seemed to enjoy crushing his enemies and was laughing while trying to get rid of an enemy he was completely helpless against. As Lilia told him what he had done after unleashing himself, Akatsu felt ashamed, especially since he had attacked Lily when she tried to intervene. Lilia told him not to let it bother him since he wasn't fully conscious at the time. She was curious as to how he was able to transform so much, and he replied that he just felt angry at Zwei's actions. And although he regained some of his consciousness when he smashed his wings, he couldn't control his body, which is no excuse for what he did to Lily, so she thought that he didn't have to worry about it. Since the moment he revealed himself, Lily didn't feel any sadness or anger. When he asked her what she wanted to talk about, she told him that she wanted to talk about Lily's suffering in the sky, and talked about herself that since she was born, she noticed her family's harsh treatment towards her while Lily endured all the injustices to win their favor. Then she added that Lily worked hard to get to where she is now, and that he was the reason why all that disappeared just by jumping in front of her, and she had nowhere to go after he defended her in front of her brother. Then Akatsu was surprised by Lilia jumping towards him while crying to express her gratitude to him for saving them from their suffering. Akatsu realized that he shouldn't have gotten himself into this situation since he helped the angels by his actions, which is the worst thing a demon can do, and he has done nothing but run away and cause chaos since he came to the human world. Lilia was furious when she saw him distracted while she was crying and asked him to at least pat her head. He felt confused when he realized how close they were, but he had no choice but to pat her, and then he was surprised that she had already set up a camera and took some pictures of them. When he asked her why, she told him that she was just collecting some materials and threatened him that he would have to work for Lily from now on or she would show him these photos. He felt angry that he fell into her trap so easily, but he felt happy that she cared about Lily so much. After that, Lily regained consciousness and noticed that her clothes had changed. When she saw Akatsu poking his head out of the bathroom with a toothbrush in his mouth, she realized that she was in his house and was shocked at the idea that he was the one who changed her clothes. Then she surprised him with a sudden attack with her sword and approached him in a rage. Lilia appeared out of nowhere and told her it was her. She realized she had made a huge mistake and tied herself up in embarrassment. After a while, Akatsu made her tea, and when she asked him what happened between him and her brother after she fainted, he told her that he let him go after giving him a warning. Lily remembered what he looked like back then, but Akatsu pointed out that Lilia had told him what had happened to him and he had no idea why he looked the way he did, so she wondered why she was still here when Zwei was gone and everything was over. She guessed that Akatsu was trying to get close to her somehow, which is why he brought her to his house. He told her that he was worried that Zwei would send backup to her house, so he decided to bring her to his house. Lily couldn't fathom that he didn't know anything about the form he had transformed into and might be lying to her. She thought about telling her leaders that she had stayed by his side to study his power so that they would forgive her, but that wouldn't solve the issue of their pursuit of Akatsu. He thanks her for helping him regain consciousness and tells her that it's safe to go home. She decides to stay the night, which makes him feel confused and tries to make excuses for her to leave. She told him that she wanted to be careful in case they set a trap in her house and insisted on staying at his house and ordered Lilia to go buy some clothes for her without waiting for his response. After some time, Lilia returned and gave her things before she went back inside and asked Akatsu to take care of her. After they were alone at home, he told her that they had to go to bed so they could go to school tomorrow. When she went to the bathroom, he thought about calling Liz to give her an update, but she didn't answer. After Lily got out of the shower, he got her a hairdryer and left the room to make herself comfortable. When it was time to go to sleep, he lay down next to her on the floor. After a while, Lily couldn't sleep, so she went to check on Akatsu to make sure he was asleep. She told him that she was overcome with fear when she was kneeling in front of her brother, even though she knew he wouldn't hurt her. But she couldn't stop thinking that their older sister was waiting for him to take her back to heaven, and that she hoped he would help her. She said that when he appeared in front of her and stood up to Zwei, she felt happy and called herself a coward. She expressed her gratitude to him as he fell asleep, then approached him, kissed him, and returned to her bed quickly, overwhelmed with happiness. The next day, they end up walking quickly to school after Akatsu falls asleep late and runs into their friends on the way. And when Hirota gets jealous again at seeing them together in the morning, Yuyuka hits him. He shrugs it off and continues on his way with Akatsu, and the rest of them follow. Lily felt like she belonged with them, and the feelings she was feeling now were treasures she had never had before, as she had never imagined she would be so happy when she arrived in the human world, and she credited Akatsu for that, and would be happy if he reciprocated her feelings. On the other hand, Zwei calls his older sister and tells her that everything is fine with Lily, and that she still has no wings, so she won't go after her and will give her a chance to live a peaceful life in the human world.